think the unwitnessed situation comes into play when there is no other viable factual pattern other than the factual pattern that is explained by the plaintiff.
Mm-hmm.
If the defendants can show another viable alternative for the, say, the fall off the ladder, or if the ladder, say, was perfect upon inspection and the fall was caused by something other than the ladder, you might not, defective ladder, you might not get summary judgment.
And if there's an issue of credibility
Right.
on the plaintiff, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Which means you want to get witness statements supporting your story. And you got to go out and get them. So where are you going to find witnesses? You're going to find witnesses in the comp file. You're going to find witnesses in the police reports. You're going to find witnesses in the general contractor, construction managers, accident reports. And if you can't find anything there, then you're going to get the payroll records, which you should be getting anyway during the course of discovery, and look at who was on the job site in the area of the accident, on the day of the accident, and have your investigator go out and see these people if they're no longer employed. And do everything you can to get witness statements. If it's a 240 case, get an affidavit. You can attach it to your summary judgment motion. Right? So it's important to do that. You must determine what the applicable sections of the labor law are, and you've heard that in detail. As to the industrial code, which is in 12 New York Code of Rules and Regulations, Part 23, if you want to handle these construction accident cases, you should have a general knowledge and be familiar with the industrial code. I talked before about learning the jargon of this area. If you read over the industrial code enough, it has everything in there. And it has definitions, it has the terminology, and you're going to be able to understand what's going on at a construction site. Too many of these cases are handled as if, it's 240, what do I got to do? It's 241 and I got a rule, it's a labor law case. You really, to do it properly, have to understand the jargon, the trade. No difference, as I said before, than if you're handling a products case and you're going to know everything about the engineering principles of a given product which injured your client. So you'll look at that. The OSHA regulations, which are applicable, are contained in 29 CFR 1926 and 1910, and you should also be familiar with those. If you're a plaintiff, they should be pled in the Bill of Particulars. Now, you can order, you don't have to go to the library and look at that huge CFR set. You can order them. This is a whole construction industry standards from 1910 and 1926. You can order them from the Superintendent of Documents, Congressional Sales Office, U.S. Government Printing Office, Washington, D.C., 20402. And if you're going to handle these cases, they're a must. How many of you handle construction cases on a regular basis? Every time I get a case that comes in, and I handle them also on a regular basis, I read over the PJI immediately to refresh my recollection. I tell you now, if you, on a regular basis, to refresh yourself, read over the PJI in conjunction with Tom's article on the recent case law, which is really excellent, you'll be up on the law. Secondly, know the industrial code. And as I said before, get out of the office and go walk on some jobs and learn what's going on. If you're a defendant's attorney, all you got to do is call up the insurance company you're representing, get you in touch with the contractor, and go out on jobs. And have someone with you and explain to you what everything is. What's rebar? What's conduit pipe? What's the stages of a job? How are the floors put in? What's put in first? So you know that, and that's how you become an expert in these types of cases. For those, since a lot of you do, I would suggest you subscribe to this magazine as well, Professional Safety. It's put out by the American Society of Safety Engineers. If you're interested, I'll leave it up here afterward. This is the most recent issue. It happens to have an article this month on analysis of construction accidents, the workers' compensation database, and it's written by OSHA's director of construction. So they often have construction articles in here. More importantly, this is a great place to get experts from. You can find people who aren't the W.E. people, you know those people, new blood, who there's no transcripts like this when they testify, like those 3 OSHA guys we all use. I think one of them retired, his wife got sick. It's great, and you know, these guys testify too, and you can call up they put down in here when they write the article what state they're from. You call up the local engineering society, you got yourself a new expert, and these people, most of them who are in here, are very qualified. It's better than going to places like these companies, that TASA. So I think Saul had Lipsy Barnett's outfit, Triodine. There's a whole bunch of them. Another book which I think you should get is the Manual of Accident Prevention in Construction. It's put out by the Associated General Contractors of America. What this book does is follow the OSHA regs, but puts them into plain and simple language, and it'll, as a plaintiff, it's invaluable because it tells you everything that should be done in any given situation. So then you can start having fun and saying, well, was this done, was this done, was this done? And it's not all going to be done, so you have some more stuff you can get before the jury. Okay. Also, if you have any questions about as I said before, the mechanism that caused the injury, the type of construction, if it's a heavy equipment case on a job, go over to the engineering library, as I said, read up on it, and you'll be an expert. If you do all of that, you have no problem handling these cases. And if you're a plaintiff, you're going to make a lot of money. And if you're a defendant, you might win a 1 or 2. Thank you very much.
That concludes the program, unless you have any questions. I thank all the presenters, and I thank your attention. A couple housekeeping rules. Fill out the evaluations, which the Bar Association likes you to do. Also, several people asked for some cites on some materials, which I have. And would the representative of the New York Telephone Company come up here? I have another thought on your case. Thank you.
Tony, I have a question.
Hi. Do you mind if I get the addresses of the two books?
Great.
The